Hello and welcome to marketing91.com. In this video, we are going to cover the topic on Johari Window and Perception. Let's start with the introduction to Johari Window. The Johari Window is a graphical representation of the relationship between individuals and their understanding of themselves. It is widely used for understanding and imparting training in self-awareness, personality development, communication, interpersonal relationships, and group development. The model comprises 4 Johari window perspectives called quadrants. The 4 quadrants contain information about feelings, intentions, experience, skills, motivation, attitude, and so on within or about a person related to his or her group. Now let's look at each of these quadrants briefly. First, open self area comprises of aspects of lives that are known to the self and others. Example, height, gender, and weight. In group work, the open area should be developed for every person. Development of this area helps us to be more effective and productive because said area represents good communication and cooperation. Second, blind spot comprises things about an individual that others know but the individual does not. Example, positive and negative behaviors. This space is non-effective for individuals or groups. This area can be reduced based on feedback from others. Moving on to the third, hidden area, which comprises aspects of an individual's life that are known to the individual but not to others. Example, sensitivities, hidden agendas, fears, and secrets. Shrinking the hidden area helps reduce confusion and misunderstanding. And fourth, unknown area, contains information unknown to both a person as well as to others. Unknown abilities or issues exist in the person's mind, but the person is unaware of those. Managers must strive to develop an environment conducive to self-discovery and constructive observation by affording employees opportunities to explore new things. Moving on, 2 processes affect the shape of the Johari window. First, self-disclosure. This refers to the extent to which persons are willing to share information about themselves with others, and sharing information helps improve interpersonal relationships. Second, feedback. This is the extent to which others are willing to share information with the person and the extent to which a person is willing to listen to others. Others' willingness to give feedback to a person depends on the person's receptivity to feedback. Moving on to the topic of perception. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to the environment. Features of perception are: first, perception is the sum of our sensory experience of the world around us. Second, it involves 6 processes, which include receiving stimuli, selecting, organizing, interpreting, checking, and reacting to stimuli. Moving on to the third feature, it is influenced by 3 factors: perceiver's characteristics, target's characteristics, and situational characteristics. And fourth, individuals have a varying perception of people and inanimate objects. Moving on to the factors influencing individual perception. First, as we mentioned, perceiver characteristics, which includes attitude, mood, interest, motives, cognitive structure, and self-concept. Second, target characteristics, which include the physical appearance, age, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and motion, sound, and size. And finally, situational characteristics, which include physical, social, and organizational settings of a situation influence perception, and the strength of situational cues influence perceptions. Now moving on to perceptual errors, starting with the first one, that is selective perception. It refers to a people's tendency to selectively interpret what they see based on their interest, background, experience, and attitudes. Accordingly, people focus on certain aspects while leaving out the others. It is a shortcut that individuals use to speed read others, which often leads to wrong conclusions. Example, a person seeing only those things about a colleague that confirm the person's belief that the colleague is incompetent or is not a team player. Moving on to the next perceptual error, halo effect. It refers to people's tendency to judge all aspects of a person's behavior or character based on a single attribute. This does not always lead to a person being overrated for a positive attitude. An individual may be viewed unfavorably based on negative characteristics. This is called the rusty halo effect. The halo effect is significant from the viewpoint of performance appraisal because it can influence a manager's evaluation of a subordinate's work performance. Example, interviewers may like one aspect of an interviewee and pursuant to the halo effect, assume that the interviewee is good fit for the company. Moving on to the third perceptual error, stereotyping. Refers to people's tendency to assign attributes to a person based solely on the class of people to which that person belongs. Stereotyping occurs when a person holds some belief about a class of people and generalizes those beliefs to encounters with individual members of that class. Example: an employee may not be promoted because of employee's cultivation of a negative impression about the employee based solely on the employee's religion affiliation. Moving on to the next perceptual error, prejudice. Prejudice is a preconceived opinion without root in reason or actual experience. Usually, it is an unfavorable opinion formed without knowledge, thought, or reason. For apt decision making, managers must not be prejudicial. Example: few corporations hire women but do not promote them to supervisory positions. And the final perceptual error, attribution, refers to judging the causes of other people's behavior. An incorrect attribution may lead to a wrong perception. For example, when the sales of a quality product increase, the demand for said product increases. In such case, the marketing manager does not get credit because the increased demand is attributed to product quality. Thank you.